Morning guys, hope you're doing well. Today I thought I would highlight HU, or at least the blends I love from HU, and kind of talk a little bit about the brand and my experience with them so far. Currently, I'm smoking HU My Red Fox. This was a blend I came across about 2 years ago, I'd like to say. I really fell in love with the blend straight away. I think I gave a sample to it to Mark Welsh Piper maybe about a year ago or so, and again I know it's now one of his favourites. And people who have tried My Red Fox, I know, really enjoy it. It's a very natural Virginia. There's, to me, it's that got those really kind of sweet bready notes, kind of bakery notes of a Virginia. Doesn't really have any grassiness. To me, doesn't have any harsh edges. No rough patches in the blend, let's say. It's really smooth, creamy, and very flavourful. I always get a really pleasant smoke from it. And despite it being, from a blend component wise, very simple, just being a straight Virginia, it can taste really complex. Part of that reason though is because of the Virginias that Hans Wiedemann uses in his blends. He's very creative in toppings and the casings that he uses on his blending, and you'll find a whole host of Virginias from South America, Africa, Asia, not just your typical growing regions. And I find the Virginias he uses and sources kind of add a whole different scenario to the blends. A lot more. Some of them are very robust in flavour, kind of give you a big punch. Others are very subtle. There's certain nuances and flavours that these different leaves provide. But from my experience, I must have tried, I would say, 11 or 12 of their blends now. I've got, of course, a selection of 4 of you in front of you. But maybe, 12, 13 of their blends, and I've enjoyed every single one of them. All have been fantastic. These are the main 4 I enjoy, however. So you've got My Red Fox, HU Sunset, Dot Worker, and Haymaker. You've got 3 Virginias and 1 Virginia Burley. And the Virginia Burley is a bit of a strange one. And what I mean by that is, typically I'm not a big fan of Burley at all. I've stayed away from it for the last couple of years, not really. I find it very cigarette-like. A lot of the Burleys, to me, they burn quite hot too, just don't really taste good. This one I came across, I bought a tin, tried it, I thought it was fantastic. It has real kind of cocoa chocolate notes to it. It reminds a little bit of coffee. It was a tin, but the aroma is fantastic. You would think it was you would think you opened a bar of chocolate, kind of. I know that's the typical Burley aroma and flavour of a good Burley is chocolate, but to me it is literally pure chocolate. Nothing, not a really sweet chocolate, bit more, obviously, like a dark chocolate, but it still has a good sweetness to it, but not overpowering. Just a really fantastic blend. Again, HU Sunset, I've compared that to a bit like Orlik Golden Slice in terms of its brightness. A little bit more bright, a little bit more forward in its citrus flavour. But yeah, I would say that's like kind of, if HU were to make an Orlik Golden Slice, which obviously they didn't, but if you were to compare it, I would say it's comparative to that, or it's comparative to Jermaine's Medium Flake, in terms of it's more bright. It still isn't as bright as those, but out of these blends and the other Virginias of theirs I've tried, this is the brightest I've tried. And if you go to Haymaker, which I believe is the first one I tried, Haymaker is just a classic straight Virginia. As the name would suggest, it has that kind of classic hay, kind of breadiness that I get from a lot of Virginias. Some Virginias you don't get that kind of grassiness here, so then that one you do, but again, really pleasant, fantastic quality Virginia, and that's what I will kind of always stand by, is the quality of their blends are fantastic. As I said, first tried my Red Fox maybe 2 years ago, just over 2 years ago. This is the original tin. I've smoked other tins since, but I've still got some of the original left, and it's so smooth and balanced. It's just, yeah, not just the quality of the tobaccos, but the quality of the blending is fantastic. Can't keep the pipe lit, I'm talking too much. Also, the tobacco is actually a little bit damp. Probably should have let it dry a bit. But yeah, it's probably the only manufacturer that I've kind of really started to invest in. What I mean by that is, like I said, I think I discovered HU initially maybe 2.5 years ago, maybe a bit longer. And ever since then, I've been acquiring more of their blends. Of course, only the blends that interest me. They make a lot of blends, some of which I have no interest in. Of course, they make quite a few Latakias, which again, the last couple of years, I've not really been smoking much Latakia, so I just don't gravitate towards them. Whereas their Virginias and Virginia Periques, that's what I kind of lean towards. And that's what's in front of you here. I've got a few others that I enjoy. But for the most part, these are my weekly rotations, let's say, of what I enjoyed from HU. They are becoming harder and harder to acquire, which is not a good thing because they were already hard to get. What I mean by that is they're only sold in Germany. You cannot buy HU anywhere else. So I'm trying to sell my HU blends as best I can, and the reason because of that is for the day where Germany decide to restrict international sale of tobacco, which will come because there's quite a few other European countries that have already taken that step. Hopefully Germany holds off as long as they can, but it will come in the next couple of years. So that's why really my cellars focused around German blends. Again, another one of my favourites, as you guys know, is St Bernard Flake by Dan Tobacco, which also makes these 4 HUs in front of you. HUs divided between K&K and Dan Tobacco. The paint style, the kind of paint can style tins of HU are made by Tallis and Klopp, and then all the regular style tins, European tins, are made by DTM for the most part. But that day will come, and there's so many German blends that I smoke. Probably 75% these days of what I enjoy comes from Germany. So that's why I really only buy from Germany these days, because I'm trying to sell as much as I can, when I can, of the blends I love. And in particular, things like my Red Fox, which I really enjoy. I only have a handful of tints, where really I want to be getting a lot more of that in the cellar soon. But again, when funds allow, I will always buy as much as I can and just tuck it away for that rainy day, because again, I'm sure these blends will still be available in Germany for years and years to come. But with the way tobacco legislation is going, I'm sure it's around the corner when Germany will prohibit the exportation of their tobacco. But again, I'm not trying not to think about that. That day will be around the corner at some point, but hopefully not in the near future. But yeah, just wanted to highlight, do an update on kind of HU and these 4 blends that I really enjoy. Hope you guys take care. Have a great week. Cheers.